Radio. Be sure to check out myself and all the personalities here at the Be Exposed Radio Open House on Saturday, July 16th from 12 to 5. This is a great opportunity to promote your business and to make new professional connections. So, if you're not busy during the day, definitely be sure to stop by the station. If you can't make it, you can always check out the stream live on our YouTube or on our website, beexposedradio.com.
Artist Exchange.
The Artist Exchange. The Artist Exchange. The Artist Exchange.
The Artist Exchange.
Artist Exchange Live.
The Artist Exchange. The Artist Exchange.
The Artist Exchange.
Starts now. Because he's professional. He called me early. Welcome back to the Artist Exchange radio show. Here live on BigExposedRadio.com. I need my phone. Yeah, I really do need my phone.
Are you on already?
Yeah, we're here live on the Artist Exchange radio show. Somebody got a charger? Because I forgot my guest is actually on our way.
There's one over there.
I don't have one.
Oh, that's Kyle's.
No, it's probably out there. Welcome to the Artist Exchange radio show here live on BeExposedRadio.com. It's me, your host, Nate
Nasty.
Couser.
Nate Nasty Cows.
I have a lineup of gentlemen in the room today. A lot of testosterone.
I'm getting ready to leave though, because I got McRibs in the car.
You got McRibs?
They probably ain't no good right now.
They all thought
that.
Oh, you making ribs tomorrow?
No, I got McRibs in the car that I got from Sam's Club, the sandwiches.
So you
in the freezer.
I was happy for a second.
They're gonna be good. That's something I have for dinner tonight.
So, what you giving tomorrow?
I'm not eating anything that has
I was getting ready to say
what's
what's on the menu because
what's on the menu?
I am getting ready to leave. There's chicken salad in the fridge, potato salad in the fridge.
Okay.
One of them will go get the chicken tomorrow.
Praise the Lord. Won't he do it? Won't he do it?
And then y'all got
Kyle, like, you want me to come to the house tomorrow?
I have plans, unfortunately. What I would do.
And potato chips and stuff too.
Okay.
You got any juice?
Do you got juice?
Oh,
I just listed everything that I bought.
He a little clean cut today.
With me.
Yeah, a little shave down.
Actually, one of the ladies who told me she's probably going to stop by tomorrow and wants to be a host sponsor for our show.
Look at him.
She does her own.
That man is about his work.
She does her own beard oil. She's got like.
I thought she said she does her own beard.
No. She has her own line of beard oils. I think the one she gave me was Southern King. It's got see, I can't ask any of you. I was going to be like, if you could smell my face, you would know how it's not very bold. It's bold when you first put it on, but it's got like
it lightens up as you hit that.
It's got like a mixture of like cedar wood.
Olive oil is really good also.
I use olive oil for my hair.
Because it makes it shiny.
Yeah, I'll smell it at the break.
But she said, okay. See, I was about to do it again, but I chose not to. But she said it's mixed with cedar wood, and she actually gave me a list of everything it's mixed with. But yeah, no, it's actually pretty nice. Mm-hmm. It actually helps not motivate, but helps
moisturize.
Yes, but that's not the word I was looking for. That's why I said no. Yes, it helps moisturize, but it helps manipulate your own skin oil instead of putting foreign chemicals.
Yes. The hell. That's how he feels.
Okay.
I'm trying to share the show.
Oh, okay.
Y'all not.
Ooh. Well, speaking of my co-host,
I could kick him.
She is on a road trip, her and Kenyon, and I'm about to start a bet, like who's not coming back from this trip.
Kenyon. I got my money on Kenyon. I'm
not
sorry.
Coming back.
I love you. I do. But if it comes down to it,
because this is what happened. And I've been on a road trip with Amma. Amma will stop talking to you for like an hour or so, just to give you guys time. And I like that. I appreciate that about Amma. Amma's very intuitive to other people's space, as am I. So I understood that. Kenyon likes to keep the conversation going. He'll keep it going.
If there's some kind of conversation. Other than that, he'll vibe out to music. Probably something you may or may not want to hear.
Yeah.
A song may or may not be on repeat 3 times.
And then in between that is his sound effect.
It's
yeah.
Just one of those.
Yeah.
You're right. Hey baby, I read this.
And I like my money is also on Kenyon But I want a side bet from that if he does make it back, he's gonna have a puncture wound somewhere where she either punched him or stabbed him.
Nope. See,
because they're driving to New Orleans.
I know they're driving. They driving to NOLA.
That's like 20 hours.
Wow.
20, yeah.
Wow. Why are they driving there?
Yeah, it's about 18.
I think
yeah, if you straight driving,
I think it's
just
just a trip. I don't know. I mean, it's like driving from here
People
to
that drive to places like that make me sick.
Why?
They do.
Like you never wanted to go on. Well,
No,
obviously not. You never wanted to go on a road trip anywhere.
I don't.
I've always wanted to do a road trip
around somebody at one time. That's not just I guess it works for them.
See, the thing is, I've never. I mean,
but they already live together. That's just too long. Give me a break.
It's like I'm already in this house with you all the time. Get away from me. But no, I mean, I'd still want to do it. I'd still want to.
I just need my space sometimes. I need if
we don't have to talk the whole time.
It's not about you, it's me.
Looking like y'all got attitudes. Y'all had a talk, but y'all look like y'all got attitudes. We just keep looking over at them.
Kind of doing that.
Motherfucker.
I would fall asleep.
Because he gonna do those sound effects.
What is these sound effects?
I dare you to fall asleep.
That loud laugh he does.
Oh, do I need to demonstrate it again?
Oh.
Let me pull the mic away from mic.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't worry.
He does that on the radio as if nobody's listening.
And I'm sitting next. I'm like, Kenyon, you need to get on my face.
And chances are they have earpieces in their ears while they're listening.
And the bad part is that he probably listening, so it's so annoying.
And look, I love you. I do. And we talk about this all the time.
But anybody want to get on that bet? Who's coming back? It may be Alma because she may get arrested for punching him in public and somebody thinks that's her child. Yeah.
Or what I think might happen is they both will come back, just not at the same time. That's what she
said. I said, "Can y'all get on the ground?"
It's like I'm not dealing with you right now. I'll take easy. Well,
the baby with him.
I don't know if the baby.
I was about to say that's. A whole
I hope the baby's not with him.
That's a whole nother trip.
That is a baby.
I think the baby's with the mom.
How long is it out? What's the hours?
It's like 18 hours straight.
Hell no.
18 to 20 depending on traffic.
Are they driving nonstop? They like not taking a nap or nothing?
Knowing them, more than likely.
Can y'all look like the type he'll like to drive straight down there? Like,
that's what I'm saying. Knowing them, but I'm pretty sure she started driving first.
Like, if I did stop, it would have to be a 5-star. Because I can't just be at no hit motel. And
you see the way I looked at him, right?
And bum slut.
You see the
what?
And bum slut Mississippi. I can't.
Bum slut.
That's very disrespectful to Mississippi.
That is.
Right.
I'm more mad at the name. Bum
Sidebar
slut.
Though. So our YouTube is awesome. I love the new effects, but can we get a new filter? Because I know I've gotten a little more chocolate as the summer progresses.
You said a new filter.
Yeah, because that's why I started wearing black shirts because it just everything.
You can't see nothing.
Yeah,
you can't see no roll.
Right
so
now,
I like that. But then I be looking real chocolate sometimes.
You look like a Whopper.
Yeah.
A Whopper, Milk Dud.
Yeah. But
milk chocolate, Willy Wonka style.
Aside from that, I was going to spend this first segment talking about Kyle's show. It's this shit. I think it's
that chair away from your screen.
Oh, so I can see the text messages. So I was gonna talk about Kyle's show. He did a show at a short piece at Artscape.
Woo!
At Theater Project. I love Theater Project.
Like, what was it about?
So it was a short piece that was part of a larger collection of pieces called Small to More, which was curated by S.N. Johnson. So it was like a collection of different visual artists, singers, dancers, poets, all came together and shared the stage for like an hour and did all these pieces. And the piece that I directed was the staging of a short story by Mary Banks, who's a local author. She wrote the story called Number Blues.
That's nice.
I directed the stage version of that show.
And it was a bigger piece. It was like an hour-long show, and it was a bunch of different vignettes and poetry in it for Artscape. That's gonna be my Artscape for yesterday and today, because I'm not going back out there.
I chose to probably go Sunday.
I want to get on the Ferris wheel.
No, I'm good.
That's the first time they did that.
The Ferris wheel?
It wasn't there last year.
Yeah, the Ferris wheel was always
It wasn't there last year.
It may not have been last year, but they always had a Ferris wheel there. I think last year was the first year that I didn't remember seeing it either.
Oh, okay.
See, I kind of want to go Sunday.
But it's on Charles Street now. Mama used to be right on the other in front of.
No, it's on Preston.
Yeah, it used to be on Preston. Now it's on Charles Street.
Yeah. They moved it again?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was on Charles last year.
They built it on Preston.
Yeah,
right next to the Symphony Hall.
It's right there. It's on Charles Street now.
Well,
it stretches. It stretches over to Preston.
Oh yeah, you mean as far as
the Ferris wheel?
Yeah.
No, the Ferris wheel is on Charles Street.
Stuff is on Charles Street.
Yeah.
Oh, I seen them building. I worked down there, so I seen them building it yesterday, and they was building it on Preston.
Yeah, it's on Charles Street.
Right.
I think they moved it.
Maybe they moved it.
Yeah.
Looks like something too big to move.
Are we talking about the same thing? You're talking about the Ferris wheel. We're talking about the other vendors and stuff, right?
I was talking about the Ferris wheel too.
Okay. That's what we were talking about. I don't know.
They may have a kiddie Ferris wheel too.
Don't try it. Don't you gotta leave?
I do.
You don't want your McRibs to thaw out.
I'm
right?
just waiting for the commercial.
Oh, all right.
So we got 4 more.
I mean, you don't have to wait.
So that was Kyle's play. Shout out to Shanae and Mary Andrea and Tarina McLaurin. Who else did I know in it? What was the guy name?
Black man.
Shar Johnson.
Sierra Adair, Janelle.
The one from Alicia?
No.
Janelle. Zizou.
I don't know all of them. I just need to shout out the ones that I knew. Sorry. But it was at Theater Project. It was awesome. I had a packed house in there for this early. That was awesome. I never like doing plays this early because you never know.
Oh, it was indoors?
Yeah, the Theater Project right on Preston. Yeah, it was a theater house right there. Really nice. So like I said, Alma is away. She went on a road trip, so she'll be returning next week. And also, I'm gonna do it because I may forget to do it. I may forget to do it tomorrow. But I'm a secret mama's boy. It's a secret because I'm really not like clingy, but mentally, I think I'm a mama's boy. So my mother's birthday is tomorrow.
Oh, well, mazel tov.
Yeah. She'll be 58. I don't think she'll appreciate me saying that out loud. But she'll be 58. But I know in the hustle and bustle tomorrow, I'll forget to probably say it out on loud, out on air.
No, because I'll remind you.
Well, now that I said it.
Well, I was going to remind you anyway.
Yeah, still remind me because I still want to say it because she actually does listen into the show. And she gives me her unfiltered opinion every time. I mean, she doesn't care.
Well, isn't that a good thing?
It is a good thing that she doesn't call in because she was that type
but
of
he
stage.
answered your question. He said it's a good thing that she doesn't call in.
It is. I'm just being honest.
My response was, isn't it a good thing that she gives you
410-702-5657.
It is very good because she's always been very honest with me. But sometimes,
it's not always.
It's not the most. Like,
I can agree with you.
In the middle of me failing, I don't really want it at that moment. Maybe tomorrow.
Can I also hop on this bandwagon? You got space on that soapbox, my brother. Let me tell you right now, I also can agree with you. I am a mama's boy. You know, I make sure my mom's okay.
I'm a secret one, though. I don't really make it
publicly known. Doesn't matter. All my friends know. I talk to my mom at least twice a week to make sure she's okay.
Twice a week?
Well, the way
my mama calls me every day.
Oh, see, I don't see. Nah, my mom, she
can't relate.
But anyways,
she had that phase where she like rambles on.
Yeah. But so, like you said, when things are down and not going the way you wanted it to, so the favorite line I'm pretty sure you've heard, and I always hear, well, you know, this, that, and the third. I'm just saying. I don't need to know what you're just saying because I already know it.
It's not like my mother's. It's not abusive, but it's real subtle. Like, well, I would have done.
Well, had you taken care of it when I told you to 2 weeks ago, you wouldn't be in this situation right now. I'm just saying.
I can't.
Thanks, Ma. Thanks.
Thanks.
Don't thank Mom me. I'm just telling you what I know.
Email it to me, Ma. Just email it to me.
Text me because I know you know how to do that now.
My mother not there yet. She has her 7 Facebook page because she forgot the password to the first 6.
You know but
she uses the same password.
When phones first started to get smart, that's when my grandmother started to know how to text. I got a random text from my grandmother one day. It was like, "How are you?" And it was all the way spelled wrong. And I'm just like, "Who is this?"
That predicted text.
I was like, "Who is this?" It's Nana. I was like, "Oh, hey, you."
Thought you was getting a booty call.
It's like, why are you texting now? How do you know how to text? Who showed you how to text? It was my little cousin. I was like, why are you showing her how to text? She was like, she needs to be able to keep up with everybody.
She gonna text you whenever she feel like it.
What?
When she get up at 5:30 in the morning. But we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back here on the Artist Exchange Radio Show on BExposedRadio.com.
Check out what you missed on Be Exposed Radio.
Are you getting your kids this hoverboard thing that's taking over the country? They range from $300 to $600. They're blowing up. And then I mean literally blowing up. That one video, I thought that was going to be the one and only video that I saw in reference to it. And it wasn't. Now I can probably tell you about 10 to 15 videos of this happening where this battery gets super, super hot and burns like holes into your tennis shoes.
Oh my.
And I know you would be pissed if you was wearing Jordans and you just paid all that money, your lights are off.
Especially if they're from China.
Your lights off. Check out the Talk Lately show every Tuesday nights from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. right here on Be Exposed Radio.
Check out this flashback of the Artist Exchange Radio Show on BeExposedRadio.com.
So we're going to get a little bit into the album with Miss Amira and learn the basis of it, the Banji soul of it all. Yes. So let us know, first of all, what is Banji soul?
Banji soul is basically just real. It's real soul. It's real. It's not cut down. It's not watered down. It's, how as hot as it came off of my mind and my heart. That's what it is. And a lot of the times I get a little tangy, banji, ratchet, whatever, how you like to put it, classify it. But I like to say banji, because I'm classy.
Banji is a little classy.
It's a little classy. That's got your pinky up.
Right.
You got your pinky up with that.
Okay, we got to keep the bees, the bougie, the banji.
Yeah.
Right.
So she's created her own lane, Banji Soul. So let us know how that is covered in the album that released on the 9th of this month, right?
Yes. Well, I did it to a number of industry tracks, including like the Beatles Come Together, and I did a Lindsay Lohan joint. You remember the Confessions of a Broken Heart?
Okay.
And a lot of stuff I aimed to like change the theme that was originated, or just to. It was my therapy.
Okay.
It was my therapy.
So that's why this is a mixtape.
Yes.
Okay, because you did a lot of remakes. Okay, I got you. The Artist Exchange Radio Show every Friday, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Every Saturday, 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. Real artist, real talk, real live.
Check out this flashback on Gangster Goddess Radio Show.
You are true to yourself. You walk that, and you walk it with your head up, because yes, I have this gangster in me. I can do this. I will persevere. I will keep moving. We have Black women who are dealing with mental issues. We have Black women who are dealing with health issues. We have Black women who are dealing with self-esteem issues. Well, we have Black women who are just dealing with issues, child. So as you try to figure out, why am I here? What's my purpose? And that can bring you down. And you have to find that, oh no, you gotta be gangster enough to say, oh no, boo-boo, not today. You will not get me. I am here. I can take a punch and keep it moving. But I can also give one. Don't get it twisted. And then go in and fix my makeup. Get the lip gloss popping, put the wrap on, And keep it moving. So that is that gangster goddess. That's where I find the balance. So you have to know when to bring it out, each side, because I can give it to you either way, because I am mother of truth. You're the unicorn, you're magical Negro, you're gangster goddess, and I am here. So thank you so much for your question. Feel free to text us again, and the number is 443-642-9403. But I hope we answered that for you.
For this and more, be sure to tune in to Gangster Goddess Radio Show every Tuesday from 7 o'clock to 8 o'clock, right here on BeExposedRadio.com.
Do you want to promote your business? Do you want to get yourself noticed? Well then, why not sponsor us? There are lots of different options to choose from commercial spots and on-air shout-outs to interviews and even putting your logo on our website. Don't miss these great opportunities to get noticed. Check out our sponsorship packages on our Facebook page or on our website, BeExposedRadio.com.
That I don't want to be called that. And it's not a lack of my reading or my knowledge, but I don't want to be attached to those individuals because I've learned that those individuals find fault in who.
What's going on, everybody? This is Brett Williams, the summer 2016 intern here at Be Exposed Radio. Be sure to check out myself and all the personalities here at the Be Exposed Radio Open House on Saturday, July 16th from 12 to 5. This is a great opportunity to promote your business and to make new professional connections. So if you're not busy during the day, definitely be sure to stop by the station. If you can't make it, you can always check out the stream live on our YouTube or on our website, BeExposedRadio.com.
You're listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
I don't hear anything.
Yeah, I don't hear nothing.
Hello?
Hello?
Hello? Oh, I don't hear nothing. Hello? Okay, there.
Okay, so just type the job website address here. That's it. Then you enter what job you're looking for there.
Electrician. This is Peter. Recently, he got help going on the internet for the first time to look for a new job.
Okay, then you just hit search and...
In the past, Peter's gotten work through people he knew, but he heard there were more jobs online.
There we go.
These are all for me?
Uh-huh.
Really? He had no idea just how many. I can't believe it. This one looks good. Peter is thinking the internet might be for him after all.
And this is just one website.
Wow. Why didn't I do this sooner? See what the internet can help you do at everyoneon.org or call 1-855-387-9166 to find a free training class near you. Brought to you by Connect to Compete and the Ad Council.
What's going on, everybody? This is Brett Williams, the summer 2016 intern here at Be Exposed Radio. Be sure to check out myself and all the personalities here at the Be Exposed Radio Open House on Saturday, July 16th from 12 to 5. This is a great opportunity to promote your business and to make new professional connections. So if you're not busy during the day, definitely be sure to stop by the station. If you can't make it, you can always check out the stream live on our YouTube or on our website, BeExposedRadio.com.
Hi, I'm LeVar Burton, and I'm proud to be a book person. How do I choose a book? Sometimes it's the cover, sometimes it's the title. I guess I'm pretty visual. If a book's really impressing me and the writing is really good, I will peek and see what the last paragraph is, because the endings of books should rock you. I am a book person, and if you're a book person too, read to a child and spark a lifetime of ambition. Join me at bookpeopleunite.org because reading is fundamental. A public service announcement brought to you by Reading is Fundamental, Library of Congress, and the Ad Council.
Green light. Hey girl, school zone. I'm getting hungry. Car changing lanes. You want to meet me for pizza? Stop sign. Intersection clear. Yeah, street. Pizza sounds good. Ballin Street? Girlin Street!
It's hard to concentrate on two things at once, like texting and driving. Stop the text, stop the wrecks. How will you stop texting and driving? Tell us at stoptextstopwrecks.org. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Hey everybody, it's Monty, the executive producer here at BeExposedRadio.com, and I'm here to talk about my show. I know, how selfish, right? Talk Lately with me, Monty, every Tuesday at 7 p.m. So what do we talk about on the show? I can tell you this. There has never been a show that I have gotten completely through the full agenda because our topics, our conversations are just that damn good. I cover politics, gossip, entertainment, and hey, I love a good panel discussion. Hey, get a group of people in here and let us debate it out. That is the best thing in the world. Not to mention, I take calls and texts, and I'll debate with you too. So why don't you get involved and be heard? What's that old adage? Closed mouths don't get fed. That says it all. So join me every Tuesday at 7 p.m. right here on BeExposedRadio.com.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Hey, what's up? I ain't hear no intro, nothing. My song.
You get a segment intro.
You said what?
You get a segment intro because this is not the beginning of your show.
That's not what I want.
Money told me to do that.
But it's my show. Thanks. So welcome back to the Artist Exchange Radio Show here live on BeExposedRadio.com. I am in the building with Mr. Kyle Jackson. Hola. Our guest is here. She'll be coming back in the next segment. She'll be coming in the next segment. Miss Dawn Queen-Clayton. She's an author, one of our many authors from the African American Authors Expo that will be taking place on October the 15th at Morgan State University. She'll be telling us more about her books, her life as an author, as a writer. But in celebration of Kyle's here today, and I'm going down to the Big Easy. I got a nice song for you guys. Like to hear it? Here it goes.
Here it goes.
Everywhere we go is dangerous. Everywhere we go is dangerous.
Oh yes, wow. Dangerous.
Everywhere we go is dangerous. I'm so dangerous. Everywhere we go is dangerous.
I just wanna be dangerous.
Everywhere we go is dangerous. Everywhere we go is dangerous. Everywhere we go is dangerous. Dangerous.
Dangerous.
Shake, wiggle, work, not kill yourself. Shake, wiggle, work, not kill yourself. Shake, wiggle, work, not kill yourself. She don't need no help. She don't need no help. Not wiggle in danger. Shake your danger. Not wiggle in danger. Shake your danger. She don't need no help. Everywhere we go is dangerous. Not dangerous. Everywhere we go is dangerous. Not dangerous.
Dangerous.
Shake, you're up a dump. Shake, you're up a dump. Work, you're up a dump. Kill yourself. Not shake, you're up a dump. Shake, you're up a dump. Work, you're up a dump. Kill yourself. Not shake.
Oh yes. Wow.
Wiggle, 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 wiggle work, wiggle work, wiggle, wiggle, wiggle work, wiggle work, wiggle work, put them in danger. Wiggle work, wiggle work, wiggle, wiggle, wiggle work, wiggle work, wiggle work, put them in danger. Everywhere we go is dangerous. I'm so dangerous. Everywhere we go is dangerous. I'm so dangerous. Everywhere we go is dangerous. Everywhere we go is dangerous. Everywhere we go is dangerous. Dangerous. Everywhere we go is dangerous. Everywhere we go is dangerous. Everywhere we go is dangerous. Dangerous.
Dangerous.
Freedom, so dangerous, not dangerous, so dangerous, not freedom, so dangerous, not dangerous. She don't need no help, not.
Okay, so just type the job website address here. That's it. Then you enter what job you're looking for there.
Electrician. This is Peter. Recently, he got help going on the internet for the first time to look for a new job.
Okay, then you just hit search and...
In the past, Peter's gotten work through people he knew, but he heard there were more jobs online.
There we go.
These are all for me?
Uh-huh.
Really? He had no idea just how many. I can't believe it. This one looks good. Peter's thinking the internet might be for him after all.
And this is just one website.
Wow. Why didn't I do this sooner? See what the internet can help you do at everyoneon.org or call 1-855-387-9166 to find a free training class near you. Brought to you by Connect to Compete and the Ad Council.
Only in the forest can you see this. And this. And this. But nothing beats the moment you see that.
Cool!
That's your child's eyes opening up to a world of possibilities.
I didn't know it could do that!
Because one trip to the forest can spark a world of difference.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org. Learn about forests near you and discover cool things to do when you go, like hiking, canoeing, fishing, or camping. Or create your own adventure with family and friends, and you might just see this. Your moment's out there. Find it at discovertheforest.org. That's discovertheforest.org.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Steven.
Who said that?
Me, down here.
What are you, a yellow booger?
I'm a banana slug, Steven.
Well, what are you doing in my room?
I'm your sense of adventure. Don't you remember me? Don't you know that we miss you?
Miss me? Who misses me?
You know, all your friends in the forest. The trees, the pond, that little fort that you made out of branches. We all miss you.
Mom took me to the forest last year.
I'm a slug, Steven. It took me a long time to get here.
Oh, I guess that makes sense.
The forest is not that far away. Have an adventure today. I'm sure your mom would take you.
You're right. I should get out. I want to have fun. Play in puddles, catch frogs, and climb trees. Hey, Mom!
Yeah, hon? Steven, what is that in your hand?
It's my sense of adventure, Mom. It's telling me we need to get out of the house and have some fun in nature today.
Come to the forest where the more adventurous you lives. Check out discovertheforest.org for cool places nearby.
You think about it. You don't do anything but think about it.
What are we going to do if we lose the house? Where are we going to go?
At work.
I can't let anybody find out. I'm so embarrassed.
At dinner.
How can I tell the kids? It's going to wreck their lives.
And at 3 o'clock in the morning.
I don't know what to do. I don't know how to get through this. What's going to happen to us?
It's time to stop thinking. It's time to start dialing. Call 1-888-995-HOPE for a free government program that offers expert one-on-one advice about your mortgage options.
I'm all alone.
No, you're not. We've helped over 1 million homeowners, and we want to help you. And now there are more ways to help. Call 1-888-995-HOPE or visit makinghomeaffordable.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Treasury, HUD, and the Ad Council.
We're rewarding you for something you already do, listening to us. It's Radio Loyalty, and it's an easy way for you to get free stuff. All you do is sign up. Go ahead and click the banner now. You'll earn points as you listen. Points you can trade in for great products and services in the Radio Loyalty store. You can earn even more points when you share your favorite station with friends on Facebook and Twitter. Radio Loyalty. It's free to sign up, so click the banner to join now.
Hey, there's my son. You've been in your room all morning.
Hey, Dad.
Matt, what's wrong with your voice?
There is nothing wrong with my voice.
Oh, well, it's just sort of.
I have been playing my video games and electronic games for so many hours.
Uh-huh. Well, it sounds like it might be time for you to take a break, or...
Hello, Dad.
Susan?
I have been watching TV and text messaging all morning. Yay, electronics. Yay, yay, yay.
Guys, I think it's about time to get in the car and take a little trip. Maybe see some trees, some green things.
What are these green things you speak of?
This weekend, unplug. Take your family to the forest. There's nothing in the world like experiencing nature firsthand. Trees, paths, bluebirds, streams. Getting closer to nature can get you closer to your family. To find the forest nearest you, go to discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Get out to the forest and discover the wonders of nature with your family, just like Blue, Jewel, and the whole Rio flock.
Let the kids connect to their roots. It's going to be so much fun. Yeah! Woo-hoo!
Let's rock this jungle.
Woo!
Fresh air.
What a glorious morning.
Clean water.
Woohoo! This is great.
And endless surprises.
Yo, this is untapped territory.
How amazing.
Visit discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
So when you get to the corner of Smith and Orchard, you're going to want to take a left.
You are not going to.
Then what you're going to
this.
do is turn onto Marcy Avenue.
Just broke up
and go past the first
apparently
3
she's
lights
happy
and then
about
take
it.
the next left.
I don't really
then
think
drive 5
she's
more
happy,
blocks
but
and you should be
who
there.
am I to judge, right?
Park on the right.
That's
I'll
what
see
I
you
heard
later
last
tonight.
night.
It's hard to concentrate on 2 things at once, like texting and driving. Stop the text, stop the wrecks. How will you stop texting and driving? Tell us at stoptextstoprex.org. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
This message is for all of you sitting in the passenger seat. And apologies if it gets a little uncomfortable, but how does it feel to be at the mercy of someone who thinks a random text is more important than your life? Someone who takes their eyes off the road while speeding along in a 3-ton hunk of steel. Freaky, right? Well, why not just ask them to stop? Or better yet, volunteer to text for them. It might be a little awkward, but believe me, you'll live.
Learn more at stoptextstoprex.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
Green light. Hey girl, school zone. I'm getting hungry. Car changing lanes. You want to meet me for pizza? Stop sign. Intersection clear. Yeah, street. Pizza sounds good. Ballin Street? Girlin Street!
It's hard to concentrate on 2 things at once, like texting and driving. Stop the text, stop the wrecks. How will you stop texting and driving? Tell us at stoptextstoprex.org. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Artist Exchange. The 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 Artist Exchange Live. The Artist Exchange. The Artist Exchange. The Artist Exchange.
Starts now. Mike, just get, just talk right into the center. Turn it around just a little. There you go. Mm-hmm. You might want to get a little closer because you got a little softer voice.
Okay.
Welcome back to the Artist Exchange Radio Show here live on BigExposedRadio.com. We're here live in the building. I have an awesome author, Miss Dawn Queen-Clayton. Is that right? And she wrote this book, and we were talking a little bit about it in the break. And the topic matter is something that people don't like to talk about. We don't, as Black people, we don't like to talk about abuse in any shape or fashion, because specifically for parents, because it's a reflection of me.
Exactly.
So we're not going to do that. Mm-hmm. First of all, I'll start with, it took her 30 years to actually get this in a book.
Exactly.
Why did it take so long?
Because I would write it, tear it up over a period of time. And I came to realize that the reason for that was God wasn't ready for me to write it, because I was still so full of anger and rage and frustration that I needed to get rid of that first. And once I began to start to write the book, which was about 15 months ago, it flowed. The only times that I had problems were during the times when I talked about my grandmother's death, which was extremely difficult for me. I had to take a break from it for about 2 months.
How close were you with your grandmother?
She raised me until her death.
Okay.
Yeah. So that was a little rough. That part in particular was a little rough. And then I had something that happened to me directly before her death that I felt for years until I went to a psychiatrist that was directly responsible for her death. And I took the weight of that as well.
Oh, wow.
So,
how old were you when she
11.
passed? Oh, wow. Yeah. And our community, we do not talk to each other, and we don't explain things to children. We just think we think children don't understand, so they're not really affected by it. And children see, they may not understand or comprehend completely, but they see. So images and actions mean a lot, especially if you don't know anything, the information around it. You can't really comprehend what is going on, but you absorb it. And I was born in the early 1940s, so that was during a period of time when children were seen and not heard. Wow.
So I internalized.
Sit down, shut up.
Yeah, I internalized a lot of what happened to me. I took the weight of a lot of what happened to me, and I took my grandmother's death upon my own shoulders because I thought what happened to me caused her death, and therefore it was my fault.
And there's a lot of people walking around with that weight, and they, how do you handle it if you don't go get help?
Well, I'll tell you, my book will explain to you how I handled it. I made all the wrong choices. Okay, I got married at 15. I was a mother at 17. Well, actually, 16 and 10 months. And a lot of bad choices all in between there, until I finally realized on my own that I needed psychiatric care.
So what was that itch or that void that you were feeling that you would get married so young, or for all the mistakes that you made?
Well, I don't want to give away too much of what's in the book.
Because you got to get the book. You got to get the book.
Absolutely. Indelible writings on a one-splice slate.
There we go.
Yes. And my getting married at that point was a matter of my physical survival. That's why I really got married.
Right. Like a lot of our family members from that period, like that's why a lot of them stayed married for so long, because
but I'm talking about getting out of a situation. That was my only way to get out of a situation that was physically threatening to my life.
Okay, I understand.
That was my reasons.
So when did being a writer, outside of this book or a book in general, when did you know you were a writer?
Well, my psychiatrist used to tell me all the time, Dawn, don't act on your aggressions. Write about them.
Wow.
So he used to tell me to write things down. He said, no matter how horrible it is, write it down. Don't do it. Just write it down. And I told him a couple of things that was swimming around in my head. And he told me, oh, don't do that. You know?
Write about it.
Yeah. And so that put that in my head that, maybe
it's a way of filtering out.
Exactly. And like I said to you during the break, that became such a healing for me to actually put that in writing. And I thank my pastor for encouraging me, pushing me actually to do it. And I'm grateful for that, because now that I've done it, it's like that was the last pin out of my chain.
So has therapy been something that's been ongoing as a maintenance tool, or?
No, I haven't had to go to therapy now in about 9 years.
So how did therapy help you?
Therapy helped me because for one, I found an excellent therapist. He's retired now, Dr. Robert Leslie, who not only actually listened to me, he didn't just, check the clock every 5 minutes to see how, close to 50 minutes were up. It wasn't that kind of thing at all. And I had a breakdown in, I think it was like 1988, about 88. And it happened to me on my job. And
when you least expected.
Yeah. But I felt it coming on all that morning. I just didn't know. And then about 3 o'clock that afternoon is when it hit me. And the only thing that I could remember doing was calling him. And all I could say was, I'm losing it. And he said, if you can get here soon, I'll wait for you.
But be blessed, because it could have manifested itself in the form of a stroke or a heart attack.
Oh, my goodness, yes. And he did wait for me. But even to this day, because my diagnosis is this associative disorder, with depression. And dissociative disorder, if you know anything about it, is like akin to multiple personality. Like you can do things and then not really remember that you did them.
Oh,
you know, that kind of thing.
How long did it? I mean, how long had the symptoms been there, and you just not know what it was?
The first time I had an episode, although I had no clue that that's what it was when I was with my first husband, and that had to have been in the let me see, my first son was born in 59, so this had to have been in 66. Yeah, 66, because he was 7. And something happened between my first husband. Now, again, in the book, you know,
gotta get this book.
Gotta get the book. And that was my first episode. So when I finally, and I had others after that. And when I finally got to Dr. Leslie, and of course, you know, he wants to know everything. So you tell the whole, you know, back from I was born in such a day, you know. And when I explained that to him, and that coupled with what happened to me the day I had to leave my job, because I remember calling him. I remember when I left my office, somebody said to me, "Miss Clayton, you leaving already?" I remember that. But then my next memory is I was in a cab. And I don't really remember that I got the cab. I don't remember walking up the street to get the cab.
So did it come out as anger or just like a deep sadness?
Yes. To both. Yes.
And that's two extremes.
Yes, it is. And the other thing, speaking of the anger and what I was talking to you about during the break, about I understand how men...
Hold on, I'm going to take a quick break.
Okay.
We'll be right back here on the Artist Exchange Radio Show on BeExposedRadio.com with Miss Dawn Queen-Clayton. When we return, I'm going to go.
It is with great pleasure that I welcome you to today's graduation ceremony. Students, when you hear the reason or reasons for your absences throughout the years, please exit the auditorium without your high school diploma. Once you've exited, remove your cap and gown and proceed into the unknown. Too tired. Family trip. Part-time job. Helping around the house. Sick day. Starting the holidays early. Just because.
Starting in the 6th grade, students who miss 18 days or more of school in a year for any reason will fall behind and risk not graduating high school. How many days of school has your child missed this year? Absences add up. Keep track at boostattendance.org today. Brought to you by the U.S. Army and the Ad Council.
So just type the job website address here. That's it. Then you enter what job you're looking for there.
Electrician.
This is Peter. Recently, he got help going on the internet for the first time to look for a new job.
Okay, then you just hit search and...
In the past, Peter's gotten work through people he knew, but he heard there were more jobs online.
There we go.
These are all for me?
Uh-huh.
Really?
He had no idea just how many.
I can't believe it. This one looks good.
Peter is thinking the internet might be for him after all.
And this is just one website.
Wow. Why didn't I do this sooner?
See what the internet can help you do at everyoneon.org or call 1-855-387-9166 to find a free training class near you. Brought to you by Connect to Compete and the Ad Council.
Do you want to promote your business? Do you want to get yourself noticed? Well then, why not sponsor us? There are lots of different options to choose from commercial spots and on-air shout-outs to interviews and even putting your logo on our website. Don't miss these great opportunities to get noticed. Check out our sponsorship packages on our Facebook page or on our website, BeExposedRadio.com.
We're rewarding you for something you already do, listening to us. It's Radio Loyalty, and it's an easy way for you to get free stuff. All you do is sign up. Go ahead and click the banner now. You'll earn points as you listen. Points you can trade in for great products and services in the Radio Loyalty store. You can earn even more points when you share your favorite station with friends on Facebook and Twitter. Radio Loyalty. It's free to sign up, so click the banner to join now.
Artist Exchange. The Artist Exchange. The Artist Exchange. The Artist Exchange.
The Artist Exchange.
Artist Exchange Live.
The Artist Exchange. The Artist Exchange.
The Artist Exchange.
Starts now.
The Fashion Umbrella Foundation is proud to announce the Educational Honors. The foundation is a grassroots organization.
Struggling with your mortgage. You think about it. You don't do anything but think about it.
What are we going to do if we lose the house? Where are we going to go?
Artist Exchange. The Artist Exchange. The Artist Exchange. The Artist Exchange.
The Artist Exchange.
Artist Exchange Live.
The Artist Exchange. The Artist Exchange.
The Artist Exchange.
Starts now. Back to the Artist Exchange Radio Show here live on BeExposedRadio.com. I have in the building one of the many authors from the African American Authors Expo that will be on October the 15th at Morgan State University on their campus. Ms. Dawn Queen-Clayton. We were talking a little bit in the break about the beginning signs of kind of, I guess, the overall message of the book in her life. I want to jump a little bit to the side and talk about the abuse, because this book is your story in abuse. What do you want to get from this book, and then I guess the brother book of this that you will soon write? Soon. She in the research phase of it right now. So what do you want people to take from this book?
What I want them
or
to
your
take
experience?
What I want them to take from this book, based on my experience, is that you don't have to spend 70 years living in that kind of pain, which is exactly what I did. Okay, because I didn't know how to get rid of it. I didn't know until I started going to the church I attend now, which, like I told you, is Set the Captives Free with Dr. Karen Bethea.
Yes.
Exactly. And because of her teachings, and I say teachings more than
because she's a teacher.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it helped me to open up inside. So I made some changes first in me, and then that opened me up to release it and not be embarrassed or ashamed about what happened to me, not what I did, what happened to me.
How were you able to live, and you raised 5 children and you've been married? How were you able to function and be functional throughout all of this and still have your senses today?
Well, I think by the grace of God is the number one thing. I think he was keeping me even when I didn't think he was keeping me. Because when you read, you'll see there's a host of things that I've gone through that has happened to me. And my very negative reactions towards it. I became a very violent person. I became...
it was defense. That's your defense mechanism.
It was because violence is what took me away from it. And so that reinforced it. You know, but somewhere in the recesses of my mind, I knew it was wrong. And
it didn't feel because were you feeling it at the time? Because sometimes
wrong. Oh yeah.
Because sometimes the anger, you can feel it. It becomes a part of.
Oh yeah, it's almost
your
a physical
breathing.
thing. Yeah. It's and then it would get to the peak, to the point where, like I told you before, I would just not remember some of the things that I might have done. I heard about them, or I may have seen the results, but I didn't remember them. And so I knew that was a definite problem.
We hear about stories like this in TV shows and movies, but how was it actually raising a family and feeling these things on the inside? So for all these years, I think you said your oldest son is 50-some years old.
Yeah, he's 56.
So for 50-some years, you've been raising a family and still internally.
Believe it or not, they grounded me more than you might imagine.
Okay.
Because so many times I could have ended up in jail, but I always remembered I had kids I had to raise, and there was nobody but me.
So was there physical or concrete triggers, or was it just mental the whole time?
No, I think it was mental the whole time. If I felt backed in a corner, I was coming out.
Okay.
Because I've been backed in too many times.
And most people just attribute that behavior to just a hard life. I mean, and that was a result of it, but we don't think anything's wrong with the person.
Oh yeah, you can't live like that and not have some repercussions. You just can't, because it's not normal.
Right.
Okay. It's not normal to be angry all the time. It's not normal to be on guard all the time. It's not normal to not trust all the time.
Just because, not for any particular reason at that time, but just
exactly
just
all
because.
that came before.
Right.
Hence the indelible writings.
So how do you, year after year, you're compiling these emotions on top of each other. And I guess this book was writing itself in these 70 years. And you ultimately sit down, I'm writing this book, The Truth Factor. Because you in church, so that means a whole body of people that's gonna, maybe pick this book up, your children, your family. How did you keep yourself from really filtering the truth to the point where it was just a fluff piece?
I've never been a fluff kind of person. And I think everybody that knows me will tell you that, what comes up.
Shaking his head.
What comes up comes out, and I've gotten in trouble for it, but that's my personality, and I don't apologize for that. And that includes on myself. For instance, towards the end of the book, I had to talk about some things that happened between me and my current husband, his father, that weren't pleasant on either side. And I went to him and I told him, look, I wrote this book and this is what it says. And his response to me really made me feel good. He said to me, I'm sure you told the truth. And it is what it is.
So, and that'll open up the next question. And you writing this, some of the stories were about people, loved ones. How did you prepare them for this truth journey you was about to open up?
Well, in actuality, I didn't have to prepare any of them because they're all deceased. Okay, my parents are gone. The really best people in my life on my dad's side, they've been gone. And it's primarily about them. My both grandmothers are gone. They're in the book. I lost my aunt recently, she was only 12 years older than me, and we were like girlfriends. We were traveling buddies. We did a lot of things together. Yeah, so she was my mother when I needed one. She was my friend. She played many roles in my life, and that was a little hard, losing her. But she was gone before I wrote this as well. So I really didn't have to explain anything to anyone other than my current husband.
On the easy, hard side of telling the story, in those individuals, those key individuals now moving, transitioning on, how easy or how hard was it to then write the story?
Well, for the most part, except for my parents and one grandmother, it wasn't difficult because it was pleasant. They were the only ones that did unpleasant things. That touched my life. So
it was more of a release.
Yeah, it was a release for me. Because like I told you before, I had all of that bottled up, and of course, all that happened to me, all that experience was my fault.
I'm gonna take a quick break. This is getting good. I can't wait to crack this book open tomorrow. So we'll be right back here on the Artist Exchange Radio Show with Ms. Dawn Queen-Clayton when we return. So don't go anywhere. BeExposedRadio.com.
What's going on, everybody? This is Brett Williams, the summer 2016 intern here at Be Exposed Radio. Be sure to check out myself and all the personalities here at the Be Exposed Radio Open House on Saturday, July 16th from 12 to 5. This is a great opportunity to promote your business and to make new professional connections. So if you're not busy during the day, definitely be sure to stop by the station. If you can't make it, you can always check out the stream live on our YouTube or on our website, BeExposedRadio.com. Do you want to promote your business? Do you want to get yourself noticed? Well then, why not sponsor us? There are lots of different options to choose from commercial spots and on-air shout-outs to interviews and even putting your logo on our website. Don't miss these great opportunities to get noticed. Check out our sponsorship packages on our Facebook page or on our website, BeExposedRadio.com. The Fashion Umbrella Foundation is proud to announce the Educational Honors. The Foundation is a grassroots organization that champions inner-city youth by providing educational opportunities and resources to engage youth in the arts and STEM. The Educational Honors is a youth-based program that recognizes students in grades 7 through 12 who have at least a 2.5 GPA and perfect attendance for one school year. Those Those selected will be invited and recognized at the Educational Honors Awards reception on Saturday, October 15th, 2016. City Council President Bernard C. Jack Young will be the keynote speaker for the evening. Students will also be inducted as Fashion Umbrella Foundation Scholars for the class of 2016. For more information about the Fashion Umbrella Foundation, visit www.fashionumbrella.org or email us at info@thefashionumbrella.org.
Artist Exchange. The Artist Exchange. The Artist Exchange. The Artist Exchange. The Artist Exchange. Artist Exchange Live. The Artist Exchange. The Artist Exchange. The Artist Exchange.
Starts now.
Anyone else go through 70 years of the language that I've been through.
Welcome back to the Artist Exchange Radio Show here live on BigExposedRadio.com. I'm gonna switch the conversation for a second, and he may be like, nah, because I'm playing my Pokemon Go. But but your son, real quick, just this knowing your mom and being with her, going through this, how was it as from the child's perspective?
Okay, that was Candy Crush first off. I don't touch that Pokemon Go. I'm 43. I'll be 44 in September. I'll never touch that Pokemon Go. So
I get you.
Just clear that out right there. My mom has always been, and I don't know if I'm answering your question directly. Mm-hmm. My mom has always been outspoken. She was the alpha. Mm-hmm. And still is in the family. So my father was much more passive and more subtle, docile than my mom. My mom was the aggressive one, and that was unusual for a traditional family. But that was her. That was your normal. That was her way, and it still is her way. And that was my father's way, and it still is my father's way. Mm-hmm. So I hope I'm answering your question. Yeah. That was the home I was accustomed to. So when my mom decided to put her thoughts and her life into an actual book, I didn't doubt 1 minute or even 1 second that she was capable of doing it and doing a phenomenal job. She speaks well. Mm-hmm. She gets her thoughts across very well. She always has. So putting it on paper was just the next step for her. So it didn't surprise me at all when the book was finished.
In hearing her and reading the book, I'm quite sure you read it already, but did you know as a child something was wrong, or she was in a depression? Was it noticeable, or because of her alpha personality, she was able to hide it or function with it?
You're her son, which is what I was. So you could still see it, but she did do an excellent job of hiding it and keeping it hidden as best as she could. But the older I got, the more I started to realize a few things, the more I was able to see it. So as a parent, she did as best as she could to make sure that was, that's not your problem, son. That's my problem and your father's problem. But as her son at the same time, I can still see it.
So being the parent, Miss Queen-Clayton, how did you, was it a conscious decision not to talk to your children about it, or you were still in the midst of it? So
you mean when they were children?
Yeah, when they were children.
Absolutely not. I wouldn't talk to them about it because first of all, I wasn't real sure that they could understand. If I could, let me rephrase that. I wasn't sure I could articulate it to the degree that they would understand it.
So they wouldn't think you was just one of the TV sensation stories or that extreme of it.
I think they thought I was just hard. I really think that is. In fact, he tells me sometimes, what was that you said your friends used to say about me? They had a name for me in the neighborhood.
Well, yeah, he used to call her Dungeon Master from the Dungeons and Dragons cartoon. And that was because
played no games.
I had a curfew that they didn't have. And my friends were either my age or for the most part, they were 1 or 2 years older than me. And they were able to hang outside well past 11, well past 10, well past 9. And
you had the street light.
That was I'm going to be honest, because I was a nerd growing up until I was about maybe 10, it wasn't a problem for me to be home because I had to be home to watch Dukes of Hazzard. I had to be home to watch Incredible Hulk, Wonder Woman, even Dallas, those type of things. That was my actual choice. But when those shows came to an end and at the same time I started outgrowing it, then I had to need to be out. This was well before the internet and those games. This is when actual fun time was being outside. They didn't have to be home by 11 or by 10 or by 9, you know, which was those respective ages of me up until, you know, time I became older. I did. And I didn't understand why that was always my rule and nobody else's. So because I had to come inside, I had to go to jail, which turned out to be the dungeon and ruled by the dungeon master. So, you know.
How did your experience shape how you were a parent? So what you were going through, how did that affect or help your parenting?
Well, I view me being a parent as my saving grace. Because like I said to you before, there were a lot of things that I probably would have given into doing or places I would have been had I not had to think about my children first. Okay. And he came along 8.5 years after the last of the 4, which I have with my first husband.
Okay.
So I was a mother of 4 for years. And so that kept me, whether I liked it or not, kept me stable.
Right.
You know,
especially at such a young age. And
exactly. And the other part was having had all of that nonsense in my life beforehand. These were the only people that I cared about and that I felt cared about me.
And that was the most important part.
They were the only people that was it.
Right.
You know, nothing else mattered.
So that became your purpose and your drive.
Exactly.
Your family.
Exactly.
Was and seeing how helpful that was. How do you look back over it? Not so much the mistakes, because my mother once, like I was telling you, she really opened up to me 4 years ago, and she said she would not have done anything differently, but there were certain points where she wished she would have been able to choose herself because that would have shown me something different or given me a better opportunity for growth. Were there moments that obviously there are moments that you would like to take back, but in general, would you change anything?
If I could change anything at all, I used to think it would be putting so much responsibility on my oldest son. Because him being the oldest, just like I was the oldest, I had to go to work. And if I had to be at work, somebody else had to pick up some of the slack at home. And in that respect, I think I took a lot of his childhood from him. Today, he poo-poos that because he owns 2 businesses. He's the principal of the Studio of Hair Design, where he went to school to learn how to do hair.
Okay.
So he and his wife own a shop. He also owns a karate school. And he feels, these are his words, if he didn't have that discipline, he don't know if he could have done it.
I mean, there's a moment where you wallow in it, but then you realize it is what made you who you are.
Right.
That's whether it's good or bad or indifferent, it shaped the type of individual you became based on your experience. And I think if people looked at life that way, they wouldn't be so hard on themselves. And in return, they wouldn't be that hard on other people. So I won't blame you for things because there was a lesson in all of that. It taught you how to be responsible. It taught you how to have structure because otherwise you wouldn't have it.
Yeah,
or you'd have learned it later in life.
When he and I talked about it, I said to him, I wish I could have done some things differently, but then on the other side of that, given the same set of circumstances, I probably would not have.
Right.
Because my circumstances were my circumstances.
And a lot of people in your children's age bracket are strung out. And out in the world, that was that baby boomers generation that is lost for the most part right now. There is a big side of them who made something, and then is a sharp contrast to the other side. So they could have been one of those numbers on the other side of the coin.
And I'm blessed that way. that they all turned out well.
How did you communicate differently now since seeking help outside of church and God and prayer?
Because a lot of things that used to aggravate me don't anymore. Like you could, times past, you could look at me wrong and like, you have a problem. I just had attitude all over the place.
Are you from Baltimore?
Yeah.
Okay.
Born and bred, as they say. But I was just so full of anger, and I think that I learned to adapt. I'm gonna get you before you get me kind of attitude.
That's a Baltimore DNA thing.
Yeah.
I got to.
There were times even when I would do something just crazy and I would think about it and I thought, you shouldn't have done that, but
it's life. I mean, you got to learn from it so you can write this awesome book to be able to showcase that. I mean, it's all about life lessons. And for me, I stress the idea of looking at the victim side, but also looking at the other side of it, because what you were put through, what if that person went through the same thing? And not to give excuse, not to justify, but we often look at the perpetrator as, this pure individual who just doing wrong. But hurt people, and it becomes a cycle.
And not only that, I found a picture of myself when I used to work at Hopkins. I'd never worked for Hopkins, but I was trained in the natural childbirth method, Lamaze method. And so I had patients, from time to time over there. I found that ID picture and I looked at that picture and I thought, I see that face every day. I see that face every time I go in the so-called ghetto areas. I see that face every single time I go out of my house.
Just dealing with life.
But now I know what it is. It's frustration, it's hurt, and it's anger.
And just knowing you got to get through it.
I was dealing with when I took that picture.
So what advice would you give to a lot of these community service driven jobs where they're dealing with community, where they have to deal with those types of individuals on a daily basis, and they forget themselves what that is? Like, you dealing with a lot of stuff, and on top of that, I got to be responsible. I got to take care of my family. I got to take care of myself. I got these bills over here. I got to work. You got all these given circumstances on top of things that were outside of your control, whether your environment, your financial, all these things that I can't necessarily control, on top of the things that I now bills, family, stress.
It comes down to one thing. You have to do what you have to do. Your children is not someone else's responsibility. Your life is not someone else's responsibility. Getting a job is not someone else's responsibility. Where you live is not someone else's responsibility. And you can't have everything you want yesterday.
Right.
You have got to go A, B, C, D. There's no such thing as A to X.
And looking for that thing that's going to save you.
Exactly. Because especially in our world, okay, in the Black community, there are no saviors. I don't care what they tell you about the welfare and all of that. That's not a savior. Okay?
That's almost a crutch.
That's exactly. It's teaching you to fail is what it is. So no, you got to do. And let me say this too, for all the welfare mothers out there, I am not talking about you. I've been there, done that too. Been on welfare. In fact,
but the system itself, you're speaking on the system
itself.
I'm speaking
on the system, but I've been on and then off welfare for 4 times. My worker told me, say, either stay on or stay off. Because,
that's what it's for when you need help.
Exactly.
Not as a
and
lifestyle
I had a sick kid. And when she go in the hospital, I had no choice when she came home, because I don't know if you know Happy Hills. You ever heard of that? It's a residential hospital. I don't even know if it exists anymore, but it did at that time. She's 54 now. But they threatened to put my child in Happy Hills. Well, that's not happening, so that was my choice. Come home. And so, but you got to keep trying. And that's what I did. No matter how many times I got knocked down, I kept pushing forward,
making something out of this experience.
What other choice do you have? Except to wallow in your misery. That's not fun.
So, we got a minute left in this segment. Can you tell us where we can find this book?
You can find that book on Amazon.com. And if you call me on Where's the bag?
The bag. Oh,
The bag. The bag.
Oh, the bag. The bag.
Yeah. All of my information is on there. The best thing is to contact me at IWOBS, at MSN.com, or you can call me at 443-929-6893.
And we're going to take another quick break. We'll be right back with Miss Dawn Queen-Clayton, indelible writing on a once blank slate. The story, I can't wait to read the book because the story behind it is awesome. So we're going to hear more about the story in the book when we return after this break. We'll be right back here on the Artist Exchange Radio Show on BExposedRadio.com.
Only in the forest can you see this. And this. And this. But nothing beats the moment you see that.
Cool!
That's your child's eyes opening up to a world of possibilities.
I didn't know it could do that!
Because one trip to the forest can spark a world of difference.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org. Learn about forests near you and discover cool things to do when you go, like hiking, canoeing, fishing, or camping. Or create your own adventure with family and friends, and you might just see this. Your moment's out there. Find it at discovertheforest.org. That's discovertheforest.org.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Steven.
Who said that?
Me, down here.
What are you, a yellow booger?
I'm a banana slug, Steven.
Well, what are you doing in my room?
I'm your sense of adventure. Don't you remember me? Don't you know that we miss you?
Miss me? Who misses me?
You know, all your friends in the forest. The trees, the pond, that little fort that you made out of branches. We all miss you.
Mom took me to the forest last year.
I'm a slug, Steven. It took me a long time to get here.
Oh, I guess that makes sense.
The forest is not that far away. Have an adventure today. I'm sure your mom would take you.
You're right. I should get out. I want to have fun. Play in puddles, catch frogs, and climb trees. Hey, Mom!
Yeah, hon? Steven, what is that in your hand?
It's my sense of adventure, Mom. It's telling me we need to get out of the house and have some fun in nature today. Come to the forest where the more adventurous you lives. Check out discovertheforest.org for cool places nearby. Brought to you by the
It is with great pleasure that I welcome you to today's graduation ceremony. Students, when you hear the reason or reasons for your absences throughout the years, please exit the auditorium without your high school diploma. Once you've exited, remove your cap and gown and proceed into the unknown. Too tired. Family trip. Part-time job. Helping around the house. Sick day. Starting the holidays early. Just because.
Starting in the 6th grade, students who miss 18 days or more of school in a year for any reason will fall behind and risk not graduating high school. How many days of school has your child missed this year? Absences add up. Keep track at boostattendance.org today. Brought to you by the U.S. Army and the Ad Council.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Along with the book that you wrote, welcome back to the Artist Exchange, by the way. Today's topic, well, actually, it's Read All About It, the 4th edition. We've had quite a few of the authors stop by the show so far for the African American Authors Expo, which I think is very important because most times our books get slated to the back of the store, and the story itself, minus the fact that you had enough courage and enough gumption to actually put it in a book, but to get your story out there. I love fiction. I do. I'm an actor, so I like living in a world that's not familiar to me, but actual living, breathing stories. I think it's one of my biggest regrets is not sitting down with my great-grandmother and my grandmother and all her brothers and sisters and just getting their stories. I look back to doing an elementary school project, and my grandmother, I chose my grandmother as my Black history story to write about, and she told me about writing numbers. She was a numbers runner, and to know that my great grandmother did something like that, and at the time it was illegal, so she had 15 children, and all of them had to be displaced while she was put into jail for basically being a lottery agent. And it those stories, I mean, that was tragic. It was funny. She made it funny to me, but those stories is what make us who we are. And you don't learn anything from it. You don't hear anything. And I remember at her funeral, all her children that were survived her death. They all had a perspective of that one event. And it's crazy, and it's given me the energy to write short stories, because I just remember all of them sitting around. My grandmother she had to go to this lady's house, and this lady made her go to church and made her wear this pink dress, and she hated the color pink because that moment that what happened to her mother attached to this lady that she had, it created this story that she didn't understand why she didn't like a color. But I think it's very important. But with your book, you have a workbook that go along with it.
You know, I mentioned Amazon.com, but if they send me a request on email.
So the book doesn't come with it. Okay, I got you.
Right. No, it doesn't come with it. But if they send me a request on email that they want the book or they want both, they can get the book from me too.
So this is a lot of questions that you have, and you've broken it down. How did the workbook come to be?
The workbook came about because so many women called me and said, oh, I wish, I had the nerve to do that. Or some part of your story was my story too. And then I thought maybe if I could get them to start off just writing it down, the journal that I mentioned before, that might get them off to a good start.
And you asked some pretty basic questions. In which state were you born? To really break down the bits and pieces. Did this come as a result of therapy? Your therapy?
No, that's something that just kind of came with the writing of my book after I wrote the book, actually.
So this is the process that you went through in writing your book.
Right. And I wanted to start off easy, with the easy questions.
Okay.
But as they get a little harder as they go back, but it's not a thick book, as you can see. I don't want anybody to be discouraged. So,
and it's not something that you have to sit down and do right now.
No. And I want them to treat it like a diary.
Okay.
And when I mean treat it like a diary, I mean in all aspects. You don't have to share it with anyone if you don't want to. And if you do, and I put that in there, only share it with someone that will keep your confidence.
I'm flipping through it, and I got to the page where it says recovery, and in that section, it's a lot of steps. Like the first one was your steps to healing, find safety, face the reality of your abuse, don't justify the acts of your abuser. Why was it important for this to be included in the workbook?
Because, like myself, a lot of people take on the act itself as their own fault. So they need to understand that that's nowhere near the truth, regardless of whether it's sexual abuse or any kind of abuse. It's not your fault. You didn't invite it. You didn't ask for it.
So I asked you earlier how or were you able to talk to your children about this? Now that they're adults, how do you communicate what you've been through to them now? Now with a book out.
I talk to them like they're adults.
Okay.
Because they are. But now, if you want to go back a little bit, my girls, I instilled in them from little teeny kids. Don't sit on a man's lap. Don't let me see you sit on a man's lap. And any men that I had in my house, I made it clear to them, don't put my daughter on your lap.
I know why the cage bird sings.
There you go.
And we don't. One, I hear you saying that, but we got to start treating the young men the same way. It's not cute to be so flirtatious because that leads to a behavior that then becomes abusive to other people.
Yeah,
towards
because you don't know who you've been flirting with. Who you've been flirty with.
And I've read the book, I Know Why Cage Bird Sings, but it wasn't until I saw the movie and I saw the interview of Maya Angelou that I connected everything personally. I got the book, but sometimes the visual is much louder than words on a piece of paper.
I hope that becomes a visual.
It's something now that I know that this what the book is. I like doing stuff like this because it's a writing exercise.
Mm-hmm.
It really helps you to people who don't write all the time.
I want you to look in the first part of it and see the definition of slut.
Oh, she not playing with. How do you do workshops with this now?
No, not yet.
Is there something you're going?
I'm seriously thinking about it.
Oh, so you spell it out. I'm seeing it as you spell it out. So give it to us.
Okay. Well, it talks about name calling being an emotional abuse.
Mm-hmm.
And I put in the definition of slut because so many women, young and older women, are called that word indiscriminately almost.
But we go get into the definition of slut when we come back from this break. We'll be right back on the Artist Exchange Radio Show. Real artists, real talk, real live. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Do you want to promote your business? Do you want to get yourself noticed? Well then, why not sponsor us? There are lots of different options to choose from commercial spots and on-air shoutouts to interviews and even putting your logo on our website. Don't miss these great opportunities to get noticed. Check out our sponsorship packages on our Facebook page or on our website, beexposedradio.com. What's going on, everybody? This is Brett Williams, the summer 2016 intern here at Be Exposed Radio. Be sure to check out myself and all the personalities here at the Be Exposed Radio Open House on Saturday, July 16th from 12 to 5. This is a great opportunity to promote your business and to make new professional connections. So, if you're not busy during the day, definitely be sure to stop by the station. If you can't make it, you can always check out the stream live on our YouTube or on our website, beexposedradio.com.
Hi, I'm LeVar Burton, and I'm proud to be a book person. How do I choose a book? Sometimes it's the cover, sometimes it's the title. I guess I'm pretty visual. If a book's really impressing me and the writing is really good, I will peek and see what the last paragraph is, because the endings of books should rock you. I am a book person, and if you're a book person too, read to a child and spark a lifetime of ambition. Join me at bookpeopleunite.org because reading is fundamental. A public service announcement brought to you by Reading is Fundamental, Library of Congress, and the Ad Council.
Green light. Hey girl, school zone. I'm getting hungry. Car changing lanes. You want to meet me for pizza? Stop sign. Intersection clear. Yeah, street. Pizza sounds good. Ballin Street? Girlin Street!
It's hard to concentrate on two things at once, like texting and driving. Stop the text, stop the wrecks. How will you stop texting and driving? Tell us at stoptextstoprex.org. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Only in the forest can you see this. And this. And this. But nothing beats the moment you see that.
Cool!
That's your child's eyes opening up to a world of possibilities.
I didn't know it could do that!
Because one trip to the forest can spark a world of difference.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org. Learn about forests near you and discover cool things to do when you go, like hiking, canoeing, fishing, or camping. Or create your own adventure with family and friends, and you might just see this. Your moment's out there. Find it at discovertheforest.org. That's discovertheforest.org.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Steven.
Who said that?
Me, down here.
What are you, a yellow booger?
I'm a banana slug, Steven.
Well, what are you doing in my room?
I'm your sense of adventure. Don't you remember me? Don't you know that we miss you?
Miss me? Who misses me?
You know, all your friends in the forest. The trees, the pond, that little fort that you made out of branches. We all miss you.
Mom took me to the forest last year.
I'm a slug, Steven. It took me a long time to get here.
Oh, I guess that makes sense.
The forest is not that far away. Have an adventure today. I'm sure your mom would take you.
You're right. I should get out. I want to have fun. Play in puddles, catch frogs, and climb trees. Hey, Mom!
Yeah, hon. Steven, what What is that in your hand?
It's my sense of adventure, Mom. It's telling me we need to get out of the house and have some fun in nature today. Come to the forest where the more adventurous you lives. Check out discovertheforest.org for cool places nearby.
Radio show. We know how you came about. We have write-ups and so forth. And the people that come after that, okay, yes, I inspired you, so acknowledge it.
Right.
When you do a, go ahead.
I'm sorry. I was just going to say, it's a little more difficult for the natural born raw artists. Okay. And the academic artists, they know a lot more than us natural born raw artists. So they could easily get in spots and galleries and newspapers and magazines and everything, where I'm not in the academic part of the artist scene. I'm just a natural born chick doing my thing. And when the academic ones are able to form groups to identical to the group that I have, and I see them getting all these opportunities, I'm bothered. I'm really bothered. So we are not the Balti girls. BALTIGURLS. That's not me. Look for Baltimore Girls by Safiatu. That's what you want to look for, blazing through the city in these next spring and summer 2016. The Baltimore Girls. Straight like that.
For this and more, be sure to tune in to Gangsta Goddess Radio Show every Tuesday from 7 o'clock to 8 o'clock, right here on BeExposedRadio.com.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
It's an option. No, just the debate that goes on. Yeah, it can get thick in the barbershop. Right, right. Well, that's another whole story, because I want to do what I want to do to your head, and that's a right. It gets kind of aggressive in there. So we're here back on the Artist Exchange Radio Show with Miss Dawn Queen-Clayton, and when I'm gonna say, don't ever judge a book by its cover. One, because I wouldn't even have imagined you were anywhere near 70 anything. Two. The story behind it is, the story itself is the foundation, but the experience after the things happen is what I'll be looking for once I start turning the pages. Because I love self-help books, but I like a self-help book that is honest and from somebody who didn't just do research, but the person who actually lived through the life of the character that they created, whether it be fictional or not. But I want to know, now you're working on part 2 of this book, the male's point of view. Right. Having 3 men that you've raised, being married to a male, and seeing all that is going through, that is going on right now with this attack, this hunting season for Black men, Black people in general, but specifically Black men. How do you want to leave your mark in helping make that better, or getting us through this moment? That isn't a moment. It's been happening for, it's on a video camera now.
Forever and 9
days.
Exactly.
We just have cell phones now to be able to capture it.
Exactly.
But how do you think you can leave your mark and put your stamp on this?
I want, first of all, the men that are already men, I want them to understand that they're not alone, that we Black women, Black mothers hear you. And I want them to be able to get their stories out, because there's some reasons for their anger, is just like there was reasons for mine. I want them to get that out of them. But I guess what I'm more interested in is the fathers and the mothers, because they're raising the next generation. Don't raise don't let your children grow up with that same anger and that same rage. If they tell you they've been abused, hear them. If they tell you that something is not right with Mr. Jones, or Miss Jones for that matter, because some of that happens too. Look at some of the school teachers these days. hear them. Because when you tell them that they're lying, or when you don't believe them, you're telling them they have no value. Any child growing up with no value is a problem.
Yep.
And is in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're talking about telling a male child that he has no value, that carries on for a very long time, because our society is set up that men cannot talk about feelings. They're considered less than men if they talk about how they feel about anything. It's all about action. Man, if I was you, I would do. And it can't be do all the time. Sometimes you have to stop and think. And that's one of the things that I admire about our president. I've heard people make fun of him because of the style that he talks, but he's thinking. It's too bad our other candidates don't do that.
They doing exact opposite.
Exactly. The mouth is in gear before their mind is. Anyway, that's another story.
But I wanted to interject for a second and pointing out those unbalanced natures in men or children, but watching your child, realizing your child's habits, and realizing what then happens when they're hiding something, or not so much lying to you, because I know all mothers can sense that, but a child's behavior changes.
Child's behavior definitely changes. You watch good old Uncle Joe, who your son or your daughter used to love to see come in the door because he was so much fun. Watch the change when Uncle Joe comes in.
And it could be something slight.
It's something very slight. All of a sudden, they don't want to be in his vicinity. Sometimes not even in the room. Sometimes they will exhibit by negative behavior at home. All of a sudden, they're problem children. They will have health issues. There's so many different ways that abuse exposes itself. You got to know the signs. You have got, as a parent, to read the signs. And above all, and I can't say this often enough because it didn't happen for me, you have to believe them. You have to believe them. Even if in somewhere in the recesses of your maternal or paternal mind, you can't believe them, listen anyway. Make sure the next time Uncle Joe comes by, your son or your daughter has something else that he needs to do in another room.
Or they displace that on Uncle somebody. Joe. Right. Or they displace that. They may have been lying on Uncle Joe, but to tell a story like that, something else is wrong.
Going on.
And this person is how I just filter it. And it's something wrong. It's somebody else may be doing it. And this person I'm not afraid to say their name, but maybe Uncle Joe's friend. And I need you to connect the dots. And a lot of parents don't, because I've realized specifically mothers take it personal when something's wrong with their child. And my mother asked me I got one time to vent. She said, you got one thing and you got to let it go, because I was a young mother and I made mistakes. And I said, one of the things that agitated me the most is, I would say I'm sick. And she said, well, I'm going through right now too. You got to deal with it. And we strip that from our children. Sometimes we strip that from it, that ability to feel something and to express themselves in a moment where we make it about them and not all the other brothers and sisters or the other, or you, the parent, and not take what is wrong with this individual personal.
I was blessed that was never a problem. That particular situation was never a problem for me, because I had a very caring, very compassionate grandmother. And I loved her so much. I wanted to be just like her. Okay. My grandmother was one of those women who, if Miss Hattie down the street lost her husband, no matter how tired she was when she got home, she was going to make something. She was going to take food down there. She was going to sit with Miss Hattie. And then she dragged me with her. So I learned how
grandparents like that no more.
I learned how to do that. I learned how to have compassion for people. I learned how to take care of people. I had to take care of my grandmother at the age of 4 because she was a severe asthmatic. And she taught me at that time, you had to pick up the receiver and wait for the operator to come on and tell her the number you wanted. Had to go through. I had to learn that at age 4.
Wow.
So compassion was instilled in me. So it came natural for me. And you have to have compassion when you're talking about children being abused, whether they're yours or not.
And a lot of people don't. They either take it personal, or we've had so many instances where a child may have lied that it kind of switched because now I don't believe you. I don't believe you, and deal with it. I can't personally do anything about it. Well, get them somebody who can. Because
maybe because of my own personal experience, but I will never, ever, ever not believe one of mine. Ever. And that may be wrong, but that I'm just telling you straight up. That's how I raised them.
And you sought help. So it's you no longer see it as something you did or something that was caused by you. And I notice a lot of those parents who do that, they're still stuck in blaming themselves. So you must have done something wrong. What you say to them? And they don't connect it with, I haven't healed. So how can I help this person right here who doesn't have any faculties or any type of learning to know how to heal from this? So how can I then heal? So that's why I look at both sides of the coin. You can't blame is just as easy as pointing a finger and watching the 3-point back at you. You always have to understand both sides of the coin. And I can't. And I was watching some story, and it was saying she had gone through certain things, and the mother never accepted outside of not being her fault. It was just my fault. I dressed too provocative because her mother said that to her. So when her child came to her and said this happened, well, what did you do? Not even asking what did he do? What did you do? What were you wearing? What did you say to him? See, I told you not to. And before you even know what was wrong, you jump to the conclusion that's as far from the truth in most cases than anything.
I've not ever had anybody say that to me, only because they didn't believe me to begin with.
Wow.
So I've not had that.
Or they haven't gone through what you were going through.
Yeah. Because the one person that came to my aid had that experience by one of the same people that abused me. But I made up my mind at age 13. That was my last abuse, and that was going to be my last abuse.
And deciding that, what steps did you take so it did not happen anymore?
You have to read the book.
Get the book and the workbook. She is tight sealed. She is not letting the secrets out. I tried. I tried to ask it a couple different ways.
I remain silent, and I will continue to remain silent because it's my mom's our segment. So I'm really the messenger, the delivery boy. And I brought her here. She is more than capable of speaking for us. So I was actually going to try to help you and tell you that, man, you asked it wrong. But she got me before I could even look up. So there it is.
But in speaking as a child, how has your mother's openness and honesty helped you to be more open and honest? Being a black male who was raised by an alpha woman, how has that helped you to be more expressive?
Children learn what they see, and then they a lot of times practice it. My mom was, she was the one who, without even saying it, basically said, what good you see us do, learn from it by repeating it, and the bad that you see us do, learn from it by staying away from it. And that's basically the best way I can describe it, because a lot of us learn the good and the bad, and we repeat the good and the bad. But I was able to see the bad parts of my family, my relationship between my mom and dad, and other things.
Because children watch.
To know that this is something I dare not do to my wife, and things like that. And I'm not even by a stretch trying to suggest that I'm perfect, but I try to be better than what I saw in some respects, and I try to be the exact same of what I saw in other respects.
And people don't realize children do pay attention, and it's a rope that we walk on as children, and you may fall to one side or swing back and forth, but you see you may not understand, but you see and you look at movements, you see patterns, and you either replicate those patterns like he was saying, or you go the exact opposite and you run away from, which we have a problem with in the Black community because of how a lot of us were raised. We totally disregard anything Black culture related, and we go way to the extreme across the street down to the other country, actually, in most cases. And
Isn't that interesting when other cultures embrace our culture?
Yeah.
And we don't. Something's wrong with that.
Not in this family.
Oh no, definitely not in this family.
How were you able, and it's still a question, I know it's in the book, but how do you still function and give so much when you are lacking so much?
Because of my grandmother.
Wow.
And that's the best way I can answer it. Because between age of, 2 is my earliest memory. I don't know how long before then I actually lived with her. And like I told you, she died when I was 11. But between those years, I learned a lot from her. And more with her doing than with her saying.
I was about to say, didn't you have to be verbal?
Because I was with her all the time, except when she had to go to work. You know, I was with her all the time. She went to choir rehearsal. She took me with her. We went to church every Sunday. Went to visit people. I always went with her. So because I had to be seen and not heard, I had an opportunity to observe.
It's something I remember growing up with my great-grandmother in my house until she passed away. And it's something a lot of my friends don't know that experience. They tease me because I think I took on some of her traits and her personality, but we don't have that. I see a lot of young people don't grow up with their grandparents, or their grandparents aren't the grandparents that I may have had. They're out in the same clothes that I may be trying to sneak out to, so they don't get that. Right. But I just remember a lot of what you said. Part of my regret is not talking to asking her more questions. I asked her, I learned a lot of things from her, but a lot of the stuff as reserved as I can be, is because I would sit and watch her. And a lot of people don't have grandparents, so I know a lot of people don't have great grandparents. Right. So that's still another layer of this experience in life that you have. So we have one more segment with Miss Dawn Queen-Clayton when we return. And we're going to get more information on how to get the book, about the festival that she's going to be in, and how to take part in it. So we're going to come back
about that slut too.
There we go. We'll be right back here on the Artist Exchange Radio Show on BeExposedRadio.com. You need to
check out this flashback of the Artist Exchange Radio Show on BeExposedRadio.com.
So you know how you around people who really can sing? And they always like, I don't know if it's this time. That's what these, well, at least these two over here are giving me right now. It's not the time, you know. It should be 78.5 degrees in here. 0.25. So they're going to share a little bit, just a little taste to get you interested, to get you tingling this morning.
Come on in here.
Share a little of that Banji soul with us.
Stand behind her.
Okay. Well, y'all singing y'all mic.
Yeah, y'all can sing.
Okay, so this is called What I Thought. It's also on the album.
Don't hold back.
Okay. Y'all ready? You ready, B? Okay. I see the lights pouring out your face. No, you can't hide. I see them clear as day. I'm growing tired of playing these games. You say I'm tripping, well, get up on this plane now, 'cause I'm pulling out with you all night. Are you going crazy? Or too damn lazy? We ain't skipping through no daisies. This wasn't my fantasy. This ain't what I thought. And this ain't what I want.
I told y'all wasn't ready. The Artist Exchange Radio Show every Friday, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Every Saturday, 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. Real artist, real talk, real live on BeExposedRadio.com.
Check out what you missed on Be Exposed Radio.
Are you getting your kids this hoverboard thing that's taking over the country? They range from $300 to $600. They're blowing up. And then, I mean, literally blowing up. That one video, I thought that was going to be the one and only video that I saw in reference to it. And it wasn't. I seen, now I could probably tell you about 10 to 15 videos of this happening where this battery gets super, super hot and burns like holes into your tennis shoes.
Oh my.
And I know you would be pissed if you was wearing Jordans and you just paid all that money, you know, your lights are off. And
Especially if they're from China.
Your lights off.
Check out the Talk Lately show every Tuesday nights from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. right here on Be Exposed
You
Radio.
are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
South Baltimore General right here.
It was totally different than it is now.
Yeah. So we're back here on the Artist Exchange Radio Show. We got one more segment with Miss Clayton, Queen-Clayton, Dawn Queen-Clayton. We got to get everything in there. So she's going to finish off the talk on her book. She has a term, slut, that she wants to give us her definition of slut. So if you don't mind sharing.
Yeah, that's a word that's thrown around a lot and has been since forever. And it's like the B word. You know, you just throw it on out there without any.
They taking ownership of it now.
Oh yeah, like their first name. But
no, I think it's called the slut walk. So they're embracing it.
Yeah, well.
Yeah. Slut shaming. I get accused of that often.
But the real reality is that initially that started as a word for so-called loose women without any regard to how she got to be that way. And my definition of slut is someone's little unloved tot or teen. Because chances are that person is expressing love in the only way that she's been taught. And that's sexually. And so we need to look at that.
And it becomes a search for something else. So I'm using this slut behavior to fill whatever void or search for whatever void I'm missing in life.
Well, sex to women is different than sex to men. I mean, that's common knowledge. Sex to men is just sex. Sex to women feel like
wait till you get them stories in before you say that.
That may be, but for the most part, men can have multiple sex partners and as a rule and not think anything of the ones that they've already had.
That's the absence of the ability to feel.
Right. But women are not made that way in any circumstance because women equate those few moments of being held, being caressed, being told I love you when they don't really mean it. They equate that as being love. So when that act is gone, the love goes with it. So what do you do when you crave love? You look for the next one. And then the one after that.
But I'm gonna say once you start hearing the honest stories from some of these men, you'll realize it's similar. I didn't say it was overlapping, but it's very similar. And the moment a man finds that feeling, like I think I found my feeling bone once I turned 30, and I didn't know how to control. I didn't know how to turn it off sometimes. And you feel things that you're not. This not what I'm not supposed to feel something from you telling your story. I'm harder than that. I'm the shell, and I see a lot of men who fight that.
Okay. Well, that's why I need those stories.
So that's gonna be a part of the campaign.
To hear the man's perspective, so I can put it in writing and get it out there.
It's gonna shock you. I'm telling you.
I'm prepared.
She said 70 years. I got this. I got this.
Shock well.
So once again, let us know where we can find you at.
Okay.
Social media, how we can get in contact with you, buy this book, send some donations.
You said that.
You gotta closed mouth doesn't get fed.
That's true. Okay, on Facebook, I'm DEE and then capital QUCEE, which
Okay.
are my initials spelled out, Dawn Queen-Clayton.
Okay.
So it's DQC. And you can also send me an email at iwobs@msn.com. I would prefer that if you want to send me your story, and you can send it anonymously. Just give me some kind of way that I can contact you and get back to you. And also you can mail me anything that you want me to have, including a request for the book itself, at Post Office Dawn Queen-Clayton at Post Office Box 1134, Randallstown, Maryland 21133. I'm sorry. So that's again Randallstown, Maryland 21133. Thank you.
That has been another awesome edition of the Artist Exchange Radio Show here live on BeExposedRadio.com. If you have any time tomorrow between the hours of 12 and 5, come on down to the Be Exposed Radio station. We are having our 4th open house, which we open the doors to the public, artists, community leaders, entrepreneurs, your Uncle Charlie, everybody. Come on down to the Be Exposed station and get on air, talk, network with other artists, other community leaders, other individuals from this DMV area, and definitely come out. You get a segment on the air to promote yourself, do what you have to do. We're going to have some videos. So I think that's always a good thing. The AC working, so definitely come on out of the heat, this heat wave we're having, and come on down and meet the personalities. All the personalities from all the shows we have on the station will be in the building, so you'll get to talk with the other hosts and chill with them and get to know them and network with other individuals who do what you do or compliment what you do. So that's tomorrow, 12 p.m. to 5 p.m. Following that will be a happy hour down at Rumba Tropical after party. So definitely come on out, 110 East Lexington Street, Suite 200. That's between Calvert and St. Paul Street. So come on out. I'm going to be there. All the other individuals on the station are going to be there. We want you there. That's tomorrow, 12 p.m. to 5 p.m. Thank you so much. I'm going to read this book, and I'm going to send you my story and tell you how I felt about the book right
That's
after.
what I know.
So
Thank
we're going to
you.
be back tomorrow. I'll see you tomorrow at 12 p.m. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Anytime. Thank you, sir.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you for coming on. It's another story. I can't wait till his story come out. When his book coming out? So we're going to get him to do the workshop and get it out.
When my story coming out?
So thank you so much. This has been the Artist Exchange Radio Show. Real artists, real talk, real live. If you missed any portion of the show, definitely check us out on YouTube at Be Exposed and just search for the Artist Exchange. I'm Nate, your host. Shout out to Alma. She's not here right now. Happy birthday to my mom. Her birthday in a couple hours. So happy birthday, Mom.
Do you want to promote your business? Do you want to get yourself noticed? Well then, why not sponsor us? There are lots of different options to choose from commercial spots and on-air shoutouts to interviews and even putting your logo on our website. Don't miss these great opportunities to get noticed. Check out our sponsorship packages on our Facebook page or on our website, BeExposedRadio.com.
Check out this flashback on the happy hour.
One of the questions I definitely wanted to ask you is, because you know everyone knows that mother, father, sister, brother, cousin that knows how to do taxes. Usually that's that person, me. Listen, no. I'm joking.
But seriously.
Right.
But seriously.
And they end up going to these people, getting their taxes done for like maybe $20, $50. I mean, a dime bag, you know, whatever. And then the next year they realize they owe like $10,000-$15,000. Can you break us down the do's and don'ts when it comes to taxes?
Well, let me say this first. You got to remember, like Mama used to say, you're gonna get what you pay.